Hello everybody, this is Vinny with ExcelDistanceCalculators.com, home of some of the most useful and versatile Excel tools out there. For the last 16 years, we've built a large number of Excel applications in all types of industries, from oil to retail to logistics and transportation, pretty much any of the major industries in the world. And my goal all these years have been to provide an easy to use and install, a single purpose and inexpensive tool that will allow business owners and business managers like yourself to complete certain tasks fast, in an efficient and accurate manner, and taking away human error from the equation. And today's tool and task is no exception. It's a tool that we built for a client that I was working with, that was in the courier delivery service. And the client needed a quick and easy tool to be able to measure and calculate miles driven from his drivers, and the ability to generate the payroll for each driver based on certain driver pay schedules. And also he wanted to be able to, with a click of a button, to export the payroll files so that he could easily send them to the parties that needed to be sent to the drivers, and also to the HR and AP. So without further ado, let me kind of show you. This is how the payroll builder for the Courier Services drivers was born, and it does exactly that. Let me show you the tool. Again, for those who are not familiar with my tools, they're all built in Excel. There is nothing to install. They use a variation of Google Maps API to calculate driving distances, and this tool does exactly that. So the first thing, I'm going to show you how we set up our drivers. We've got this driver sheet. Again, this is this is an Excel tool, so you can use all the Excel functionalities such as copying and pasting, formulas if needed, etc. In the driver sheet, in the driver area, we can enter a pay rate for the default driver, and this is pretty much any driver that is not listed in here, but while allowing the user, the manager, the business owner to set customized schedules for certain drivers. And the way we do that is by adding their names into the driver sheet, into the driver table. You don't have to enter all of your drivers. If the driver's name does not exist in here, then the tool automatically be set to the default rate and schedule. So there are three variables in here. The first one is the flat rate, and this is the pickup rate. So this is the minimum amount that the driver gets paid no matter what. In this case, is $15. For some of them, might be a little bit higher depending on what the agreement or the seniority of the driver is. In addition, we have a list of free miles, and these are the amount of miles for which the driver does not get paid any additional fee per mile. So this $15 flat rate in this case would cover up to 3 miles. Anything in addition to those 3 miles, we want to pay the driver at $1.50, and again, you can change those based on what your current pay structure is, but in this case we pay them at $1.50. And so an example would be, if the trip would be 10 miles, the driver would get, or let's say maybe 13 miles, maybe be a little bit of an easier example, the driver would get $15 for the first 3 miles, and then for the next 10 miles, 13 minus 3, they would get another $15, so the driver would get paid about $30, and so forth. The second part would be the trips part, and this is where we download or paste or enter from whatever software you're using the trips and the deliveries. There is a area for a trip date, and obviously this is important because that it'll tell us the time frame for that payroll. There's a client name, and then obviously the driver's name, and this is important because it will look up the driver's rate based on their name, and obviously the pickup address and the drop-off address. I'm going to clear these calculations here. And these are the input information. The tool will calculate the driving distance between these two and calculate the payment that is due to the driver for that specific trip. We also have a template file here, and this is something that we use for you to customize the tool to your company. And in your stationery, you can put your company's name, address, and your logo. And all the magic happens into this screen, into the main screen. The first step, the first button will be to calculate the trip data. And as you can see, there are about 26 trips. The tool goes through them relatively quick and calculates driving miles, driving minutes, and the payment that's due for that specific trip, and so forth. Once we do that, then the user or the manager will click on Generate Payroll, and what this does, it will generate one sheet for every driver, and in here there will be all of their trips for that specific time period. Usually what I've seen is they are weekly time periods, but again, you can use whatever time period that works for you. The tool automatically recognizes the first date and the last date from the list of the trips, and will also tell us the total miles driven and the total compensation, total payment for the driver. Once we do that, the tool will allow me to export those in PDFs. Before I do that, let me also show you I can select where to export. In this case, I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call this payroll. And I'm telling the tool to export these into this folder. Once I do that, I can click on Export Payroll, and the tool will automatically export each of these payrolls in payroll files in a PDF format. Let me kind of show you where that is. And this is the file that we told the tool to export those, and they're named after each one of the drivers. I can open them, and it will give me those details just like they are in the sheet, and I can email this to the driver for as a payroll proof, and also to the AP to make those payments. And once I've done that, then I can click on Delete Payroll, and the tool automatically resets so that we're ready to prepare for the next payroll, for whenever that is, in a week or in 2 weeks. And really, it should be as simple as that. In addition to this, I wanted to let you know that I also understand that some of you might have different payroll, different ways of doing payroll that might not be covered. We kind of try to cover something that probably covers something like 90% of the pay formats out there. If that's the case, let me know. I'll be more than happy to customize this for you. We do a lot of customization for payroll tools, and would be happy to do that for you. My phone number and my email will be in the description. And also, if you want to get and try this tool, there should be a link in the description of the video for downloading the tool. Thank you very much for watching this, and until next time.